well done you for pressing play. Roll out your mats. It's going to be a short flow. Let's loosen up through the shoulders and through the hips and see what magic evolves just from flowing. So let's start off with coming to the very top of the mat. Bringing the hands to prayer. Ground down into the feet, spread the toes, lift through the arches of the feet. Engage the legs, just a slight tucking or drawing the tailbone down toward the earth. Use the muscles through the abdominal by drawing the navel in towards the spine. Draw the shoulders back and down away from the ears, turn the palms. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold forward. You can bend the knees as much as you need to here. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Bend into the knees, step or jump your way back to a plank, modified side plank. Knees to the earth, lower slow. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to downward facing dog. Come back via the knees. Tuck the toes under and find your way back. Breathe. We're using our Ujjayi breath, the breath of victory. Bend the knees, look forward, step or jump with the next exhale to the top of the mat. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Brush and rise. Skyward, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Create length in the spine here. Exhale, bend into the knees. Step or jump your way to the back of your mat. Lower slowly through your version of Chaturanga. Inhale, rise. Exhale, downward dog. Right leg to the sky and inhale. Exhale, draw the knee towards the chin and move yourself back into that plank position. Keep hugging the leg up toward the body. That's going to activate through the core, and you can see as well we're strengthening the arms and the shoulders. Inhale, lift back up. Let's do that with the breath timing. Exhale, forward. Inhale it up. Spread the fingers into the floor. Exhale, forward. Inhale, lift it back up. This time we're going to plant the foot between the hands and work into a high lunge. Lift the arms. Beautiful. Draw the back heel towards the floor. We're going to come straight into warrior one. So you just reposition the back foot, still with both of the hips facing towards the front. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen out the front leg. And we're just going to fold down over the leg. Keep a bend in that front knee if you need for the hamstring. And look at the toes. Do you find that your toes are scrunching, or are they actually spreading into the mat? Okay, so we want to avoid restricting that pranic flow that's flowing through us, or that yogic energy. So press and spread into the toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward to your degree. To come out, simply return the hands back to the top of the mat. Bend into the right knee. I've come up onto the ball of the back foot. Draw the left glute in, so you want to activate here so you've got a strong foundation to step back the right leg in line with the left for plank. Your version of Chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale back. We've got the opposite side. Inhale. Lift to high. Exhale to a plank with the knee to the chin. Suck it in, rounding to the upper back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, back through. Inhale again, rise. Exhale. Last one, the next one will be stepping it through. But you want to use that same muscle groups to step it through. And that's the same integrated muscles that you'll use for all of your step throughs. That's really important that you do that. Back foot firm into the floor. Foundation first, and then inhale to rise. Shoulders away from the ears. So you want to also focus here. A lot of us can get this sway back. So I like to really imagine my pelvic bowl like a fruit bowl and draw it down towards the floor ever so slightly. Draw the navel in, and that's going to give you more of a stretch into that right hip flexor. Ground the back foot into the floor. Let's find warrior one. Good, fire up through this front left leg. Now we're going to start to lengthen it out. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold down over the leg. So we're intensifying the stretch here into the hamstring. Lengthen and look forward. Exhale and fold. Beautiful, yogis. Walk the hands forward, bend them to the front knee, activate back leg, left foot joins with the right. Lower slow. Good. So we're focusing on the shoulders. So lower yourself down onto the knees. So let's keep the hips over the knees. And we're going to come into a melting heart pose. So a beautiful heart opener, chest and shoulder opener. So keep the hips over the knees. That's a really important aspect of the pose. As you walk your hands out in front, you may find your hands coming off mat and start to lower the chest to the floor. Gaze forward if that's comfortable on you there, and you can rest the chin on the mat. Or just take the gaze down to the earth and rest the forehead on the mat. Good, yogis, let's come and make our way to all fours. We'll find a little flow. Inhale, look up. Up cat, and on down cat, we breathe out of the mouth. Exhale out of the mouth. 2 more, inhale. Release, exhale. Final round, inhale. Fill up the belly, the chest, everything completely fills. Then you've got more to let go, obviously. Bring your left hand just underneath the chest. Lift your right arm to the sky and take a deep inhalation here. And then exhale and reach that arm all the way underneath you as far as you can take it, and then lower down onto this shoulder. The left arm then can stay next to the face. It can reach overhead, or you can lift it towards the sky. You can choose a half bind here by folding the arm back behind. And open through the shoulders, drawing the chest to the sky, and allow the back of the head to rest on the floor. Good, release it slow. Left hand comes back down to the floor. Frame the face. I like to press the hand into the floor to lift back up. Good. Right hand to the earth this time. Left arm to the sky. Inhale and exhale. Reach as far as you can first. Keep the hips over the knees. This right hand now supporting your practice, reaching overhead to the sky or half bind. Deep rhythmic breathing. Beautiful. Bring the right hand back into play, press it into the floor, lift back to all fours. Just think we're doing a little bit of hip opening. Take your knees wide now. Keep the big toes pressing and work into a wide stance variation of child's pose, and support the forehead with the forearms. You can rock open the hips here from side to side. Good, return. Well done, yogis. Let's come back and find a little flow. So find downward dog, pedal out the feet. Bend into the knees once again, look forward, step or jump. Inhale to rise. Exhale and fold, bend, brush and reach to the sky. We're going to take a version of revolved chair. I'm just turning to face you. Revolved chair here with a shoulder opener. So bend into the knees and take your left hand to the earth. Okay, you can come up onto the fingertips or plant the hand to the floor. And then with this right arm, it's going to lift all the way towards the sky. Now you can hit the gaze either down at the hand or the wall, or you can tuck the chin and look up towards the sky. Same here with the bind options with the other shoulder openers. You can stay as you are or fold the elbow and work with the half bind. Keep pressing that left hand into the floor. So you're pressing the earth away from you, allowing for more opening in the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, return the gaze, swap the hands. Good, draw the navel in. Palm can face the opposite side, elbow can fall back. Keep pressing that right hand now into the floor. And slowly returning with the gaze, both hands to the floor. Inhale, bring them onto the shins and look forward. Good, and fold. I'm turning with you. So from here, one of my favorite shoulder releases is to take the hands behind you and the fingers will find one another just there above the sacrum. Interlace your fingers and then start to bring the arms overhead. Please feel free to bend your knees as much as you need to here. I'll just turn around and show you what that looks like from that direction. Again, a couple more options for you to play with to see what feels right on your body in this moment. You can bring the palms of the hands toward one another. Or sometimes it's nice to draw them away and kind of pull on the fingers here as well. So there's still a grip, but you're pulling. That's it. Take another inhale. And exhale, gently bring the hands back onto the floor. Bend the knees, step or jump your way to a plank. Lower the knees to the floor. Good. And from here, we're going to come down into Sphinx pose. So lower the tummy down to the floor and the elbows will come beneath the shoulders as the forearms ground into the floor. Spread the fingers. So here is a beautiful alternative to cobra and to upward facing dog. It's also a lovely heart opener, chest and shoulder opener as well. But we're going to add some heat and see some work here. So first of all, starting here and grounding. You're going to press the whole forearm into the floor and the wrists, fingertips, knuckles. And then you can choose with the feet. You can either tuck the toes under or you can use flat feet. We're going to do a bit of work here, some strengthening work now. So with the toes tucked or the feet flat, start to lift the whole body off the floor. So we're going to come into a plank, but I want you to round into the upper back. See how I'm rounding? This would be doing it incorrectly. This is engaging everything and properly working into pose, and then opening to the back. See that? It's just like I'm pulling my heart up all the way towards the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale, lower slowly, safely via the knees, back to Sphinx. One of my favorite little flows here. You can take the gaze up as well. Shoulders away from the ears, so avoiding sort of hunching here. Let's do it once again. So tuck the toes or press into the top of the feet and round in. Lift up through the top of the back there. Good, last breath. And exhale, Sphinx. Good, let's carry on with our hip opening theme. So slide the hands beneath you. We're going to work into the lizard pose. Left foot is going to step up outside your left hand, okay? Outside your left hand. You can keep it as it is or experiment with moving the foot around in different directions. You can stay on the hands or drop on down to the forearms. You can add a quad stretch and draw that back leg in toward you, taking the left hand to the top of the foot and draw it in. Beautiful. Let's come to the opposite side. Right foot steps up, wider than the hand. Ground the foot, roll onto the blade of the foot, work the similar variation you did on the previous side. So it's really important in yoga that you, unless you have an injury of some sort, you want to do exactly the same thing on each side of the body. Okay, that is how we're going to bring equilibrium, the balance back into the whole body system. Something which so many of us need in these fast-paced lives that we live. Draw that leg in towards you. So here, if you're doing the quad stretch with me, draw the knee toward the back of the room, and then you really feel an intense quad stretch. Good, and then lower. Come back on down. So let's work with our hip opener. So we're going to come into frog pose now. I will turn around to face you. So take your knees as wide as they will go. Feel free to roll your mat over. When the teacher says in your class you're coming into frog, feel free to roll it a few times, even 4 times. I find nice. And then you got some more cushioning underneath those knees. I like to flex the feet here, bring the ankles in line with the knees, and then bring the forearms down to the floor. You can interlace the fingers, you can look forward or take the gaze in between the forearms. You can work gently forward or backward and just find that little sweet spot and soften into it. Releasing any tension that's residing in the hips today. Anything that's coming up for you mentally as you're moving into this pose is probably coming up for you in your life as well. See it come, see it go. What is it teaching us? What is it giving us? What are the gifts in everything that happens to us? Trust that, know that. Well done, yogis. Let's come out. Meet you in downward facing dog. Let's work a couple of standing poses. Right leg to the sky and inhale. Bend the knee, open through the hip. Option to flip your dog here if that's in your range, wild thing. Otherwise, step on through to warrior 2 and I'll meet you there. Back foot into the floor. Windmill it up. Good. Reverse your warrior now. Left to the thigh, right as high. If you're wanting to work even deeper into the core, you can take some of that weight out of that back hand. You can work with a mudra, you can work with a half bind. So shoulder opening. Let's lean forward and work into side angle pose. Bring the forearm first to the thigh. This left arm to the sky. And you want to feel like you're drawing them away from each other. So you want to feel like you're dumping weight down into here. You want to lift up and out of it. Good. Option to take the arm overhead. You can take the back arm perhaps instead and fold it behind you into a bind and then draw the chest towards the sky, draw the shoulder back. If you work with a full bind, you're welcome to come into that. It's the right hand that holds the left behind you. One last breath. And then come back to warrior 2. Find a flow or meet us in downward dog. Left leg, when you're ready, lift it high. Bend the knee. Some of you came and flipped your dog. Wild thing. Meeting in warrior two. Really reach the fingers away from one another. Some of us tend to get this tightness in the shoulders, so you want to actually actively draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Good. Keep bending deep into this front leg and make sure it is tracking, so it's the knee is drawing towards the left side of the room, so you are getting this opening into the hip, which is what we're focusing on today. Reverse your warrior. Right hand down along the thigh with pushing into the leg or not. Left arm to the sky. So the more you're contracting into this right side, the more this lengthening that you're getting in through here, the space that you're creating within the body. Let's come out of it. Keep a bend in the knee, forearm to the thigh, right arm high, overhead, half bind, or full bind. Warrior two. Windmill the hands, frame the front foot, step it back, flush it out. Work with the breath. Good, coming down to the knees. Bring the legs out in front of you. Good, so we've left the standing series of this short little flow now, and we're making our way down to the floor, and we'll be meditating soon. But before we go there, we're going to start with what I love. It's a beautiful twist. So draw the left leg in toward you, and then take the foot over the thigh. And let's stay here and just take the left hand behind you. So you're going to have all this opening here. Right arm to the sky and inhale, and then exhale and use the arm to either wrap the leg in towards you, or take the elbow or the shoulder to the thigh. Some of you won't need this hand behind, so lift it up and bring it behind. Some of you will work into a full bind if that's in range. Return the gaze. In between rounds, we're going to come into tabletop. Reverse plank if that's comfortable for you. So reverse plank is with straight legs and toes pointed, but a more modified version is to bend the knees. Lift into tabletop, open through the chest and the shoulders, lift the hips, gaze down along the legs to the knees, or protract the chin and take the gaze back. Good, return. Sit bones to the floor. Bring the gaze back, legs along. Good. Right leg in and over. Right hand to the floor as support. Left to the sky to lengthen the spine, create the length through the vertebrae so that you can get deeper into the twist. Either wrap the arm around and draw the leg in, elbow or shoulder. Long arm. This arm can fold back, left can fold under, hands can meet and bind. Return the gaze. Return the arms. Return the legs. Let's take a little hip opener before we move upside down. To bring your soles of the feet together now and create a diamond shape with the legs. And then as you lean forward, hold on to the ankles and lengthen the spine. So you want to lengthen the spine as opposed to rounding here and then trying to fold forward, because that can create further tension and compression into the lumbar spine. So lift, tilt from the hips, and that's where we fold from. Use your breath. Draw the navel to the floor. So you want to really think about bringing the navel down first, the chest down second, the chin down finally. Maybe the forehead. Rise and lengthen, yogis. You're doing beautifully. If you'd like to move into inversion, you're welcome to. I'm going to do a hip opening sequence in my inversion, so I'm going to do it facing towards you, so you can copy me. So as you come up into shoulder stand, and bring the elbows in toward one another. And stay here. Activate the toes. Engage the inner thighs. Draw the navel in. There you go. And here, if you like, you can start to widen the stance. So we're doing some hip opening. Okay, we can do some scissor kick as well. This is more hip opening into the left hip flexor, right hamstring. Let's take it wide. See how I'm moving slowly here? It's really important that you do the same. So being mindful, moving mindfully, and looking after your beautiful bodies. So remember the diamond shape we created on the floor? We're going to create it here. Bring the soles of the feet together. Good. Work through your counter poses. Knees to the face in a plow variation, toes to the floor. You can take your legs wide here as well, if that feels comfortable. And then in your own time, you'll come out slowly. Let's take a gentle supine twist by taking the arms out wide, bend the knees, and take the knees over to the left. Your gaze to the right. So we're adding a little more shoulder opening in here, so you're feeling this through the shoulders. Reach the fingertips away from one another. Inhale to return. Let's come straight to the opposite side. And drawing the knees back in. Well done. As with every class, we always make time, a few minutes for meditation. So get yourself back on your mat, lay down your back if that's comfortable to do so, otherwise feel free to sit upright. Get any wriggles out if there's still some wriggles left. Allow the feet just to flop out to the sides. Same with the arms and the hands. Do you know our bodies are built with an internal cooling system? So as we widen our stance here and deepen the breath, the body starts to naturally cool down. So we've let go of the Ujjayi breath, and now we're just moving back into our natural breath. It's the same breath that you use just before going to sleep. The only difference is, rather than letting your mind go into dream state, you're moving into a meditative state. And that is experienced through practice. Practice with me now. Deepen your breath. As soon as you notice an external thought, a sound, a sensation, I'm just going to ask you just to notice it and then let it go. So as opposed to seeing that, noticing that, feeling that, and holding on to it and building on it and creating a story, let's say, see if you can just become the witness of your thoughts. See it come, see it go. When we practice doing that, we're actually training the muscle in the brain, if you like, or the mind muscle. To meditate. So over time, with practice, the space that we create for ourselves between those distracting thoughts, that space increases. You might notice just a glimpse of that today, just a glimpse of stillness that you can create for yourself. And that's the greatest gift you can give to yourself. To bring some awareness back now to the fingers and the toes, to the wrists, to the ankles, to the arms and to the legs, to the heart. Bending your knees and rolling to either side. Resting here, reflecting on your practice. Reflecting on how you feel now compared to when we first started. And when you're ready, you can start to slowly bring yourself upright to a cross-legged seated position. Hopefully feeling a little more open through the shoulders and through the hips. Let's bring our hands together to honour this practice. Honour this space that we share together. The teachings that are constantly being offered to us through the listening, that deep listening of the self. Wherever in the world you are,
I hope it's a beautiful day today and always. Namaste.